Hi, I'm Sam Ellman. I'm a sustainability chemist with specialties in biodegradable materials and environmental toxicology, and today I'll be taking a question from Reddit user Trend Socialist, who asks, what are your hopes in the next decade or two on overcoming our reliance on plastics? I get that question all the time, and fortunately, I actually have a lot of hope surrounding this, primarily because we already have the technological solutions we need for this kind of problem. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to be implemented. To illustrate this point, I introduce to you the Humble Box of Pasta. This box is made mostly of cardboard, which will biodegrade over the course of about a year, except for this little plastic window. So in a year, most of this box will have returned to nature, but in 1,000 years, this plastic will still be knocking around the environment somewhere. So my question to you is getting to see our pasta for a minute before buying it worth having this piece of plastic stick around in our environment for 1,000 years? I would say it isn't. But I'm not gonna lie, getting to see the pasta is pretty convenient. That way you know it hasn't gone bad or gotten broken in transit, but that's exactly the point. In order to live in a plastic-free world, we'll have to trade the inconvenience of having a world full of plastic for other inconveniences. Science isn't magic as much as we would like to believe it, so there are always going to be drawbacks to any innovation. And particularly in the world of materials, it's very difficult to have a material that is biodegradable, clear, and able to protect the food from air and water. We can basically only have 3 of those. So for example, in the pasta box, the cardboard protects it from air and water, and it's biodegradable, but it's not clear. The plastic film protects it from air and water, and it's clear, but it's not biodegradable. In a sustainable world, we can't have it all, and I would argue that's okay. All of the food in the grocery store will be gone in just a few days, but it's wrapped in plastic that will still be around in 1,000 years. Is that necessary? No. Is it convenient? Yes, right up until that plastic starts to clog our waterways. But people have been looking at their food before buying it for thousands of years. Groceries used to have butcher and greengrocer counters where people would see the food behind glass, pick it out, and then the butcher or greengrocer would wrap it in butcher paper. That's a totally sustainable, biodegradable solution that requires 0 new technology. Now, that would require a lot of changes. We would have to hire more butchers and greengrocers and reorganize our grocery stores to keep lines from getting too long. But these solutions are attainable, and we could do them today if we wanted to. Just like for plastic and food packaging, most plastic that's used today is completely unnecessary and could be replaced by natural materials. But making that change would involve a million little inconveniences that people would have to get used to. There are certain exceptions to this, like in certain medical applications and electronics applications, but those make up a tiny fraction of the plastics that are used and thrown away every year. The little inconveniences involved in moving away from plastics are a big part of why it's so important to raise awareness about the environmental crisis and particularly the plastics crisis. Because we would hope that when people come across those little inconveniences, if they're aware of the benefits that that has for the environment, then they'll be more willing to tolerate the inconvenience for all of our futures. If you'd like to see more of this, I post scripts a few months ahead of time on my free blog. The link to that is in the description. If you found this helpful, I'd like to mention that it's a difficult time to be a scientist in the United States, and I'm currently unemployed! So if you'd like to support my work, I would really appreciate it. There's a PayPal link in the description. Remember, science only exists thanks to the collective labor of generations of human history, which means the fruit of that labor belongs to all of us. Science isn't just for scientists. Science is for everyone, which means science is for you.